Hello and welcome to another Forced Recon Logic video. If you're like me, you probably want to stay up to date with the latest pieces of technology and all that and softwares and whatnot, but sometimes is it best to hold back? Well, today we'll be talking about whether or not to update to iOS 6. Yeah, I know most of you are probably thinking, but dude, there's no competition. Well, let's just see about that. Let's start by seeing what the main differences are between iOS 6 and previous versions of iOS. Well, to begin with, let's take a look at the music app. As you can see, they have pretty much redesigned the whole GUI of the app, the main color scheme obviously being white with text in grey. Personally, I don't like this new change. I much better prefer the old GUI, but it won't be too hard to adjust to because the layout is still basically just the same as previous versions. When we head over to the player, we can clearly notice a change here. Okay, for example, this time Apple has tried to jazz it up by making the repeat button orange. Solid effort, Apple, solid effort. But all in all, although there have been some major changes in the GUI, getting used to it will be no issue, as everything is still in the exact same place as previous versions of iOS. So as you can probably tell right now, all Apple has basically done is just skinned. They have basically skinned over older versions of iOS just to make it look more modern, of course. Okay, now if you are to head over to settings, you'll see that there is now a new option called Do Not Disturb. What this feature does is your phone suppresses most forms of communication, phone calls, text messages, even Facebook and Twitter notifications. When enabled, your phone will not light up or vibrate at all, allowing you to sit through a meeting. When we navigate our way to the picture viewer, we see that not much has changed at all, but there are more options for sharing. iOS 6 boasts more Facebook integration, which in turn means you can share your pictures straight from the camera roll to your Facebook. You can also tweet them and email them. We then head over to the App Store, where, like the music app, you notice the change immediately. Sporting the new white and grey skin, I must say it is an improvement over the old one in my opinion. The App Store, if you ask me, is slightly faster. If you go to search, you see that your results now appear differently, which I find kind of inconvenient because you have to scroll through lots of apps instead of down a vertical list. Well, that's pretty much all the major important changes that they have made in iOS 6. Of course, you do get the full performance out of iOS 6 if you are using iOS 6 on the latest iPhone, which is the iPhone 5, because iOS 6 was pretty much built around the new iPhone 5 with its faster processors and whatnot. But so I think that you should only update to iOS 6 if you feel that you want to, or you are impressed by some of the features, or you just feel that you want a change of GUI. Then iOS 6 is for you if you want to do any of those things. And that's pretty much it for this video. Comment, rate and subscribe.